Nation? Dixie Jean here, getting ready for Badbeat 12 coming March 28th at Commerce Casino. Right now I got Kory Kelley getting ready to take on Christian Aguilera. First off, gotta love the beard. What is with this beard?
Just laziness, sheer laziness. Do not like shaving. Chicks dig it too, so how can I shave it?
No, I'm kidding. It's awesome. It's
you
pretty
can
epic.
pet it if you want.
Okay, it's pretty epic. Okay, now back to the real stuff.
Okay.
How's training going for you?
Training's going great. For me, I constantly train. It's not like there's no off season in fighting really, so I'm always training, always in the gym. I work for the UFC gym, so I'm constantly there all the time. There's no excuse for me to be out of shape, so it's going great.
Little background on Kory Kelley. He actually fought with us before, amateur. You're at 185, you dropped down to 155, and now you're at 170. What's the incentive to stay at around 170 for you?
It's a happy medium for me. I feel at 55, I'm a little too emaciated, too depleted. 70's perfect, just gonna add a little muscle, get a little larger, and I know how to weight cut to 170. That's the biggest thing, is making the weight and being professional. That's the biggest thing. I think I don't want to put my body through going to 155 again. That's gnarly.
Well, going into this one, you've obviously been training for a while for this one. Getting for this, you're reaching for that first pro win.
Yes.
If you look at your record, some people might have a little bit of a say on your record being a little bit different. Expand on that a little bit.
My last two fights, my last one, everybody thought I won. It was over a kid named Steven Stryker. Got my takedowns, got my strikes, pretty much dominated 3 rounds, and they gave the decision to him. So that was very heartbreaking for me, so I'm extremely determined. The one before that was a split decision, so I could very easily be 2-1. So don't let my record fool you. I'm coming for you, son.
When you say son, what would a win over Christian Aguilera mean to you?
Oh, it'd be awesome. Just because the kid's just one of those young, hungry guys. Yeah, he's in there. He's intense. I can see his interviews. He's very intense. He's very, he wants it. And it's just going to be nice to get in there with a kid. And I'm a grown-ass man, so it's going to be a lot different.
And what do you think your advantage is going into this fight?
My advantage is going to be my strength, my stand-up skills, my striking, my chin, too. I saw a couple of his fights, and his chin's very questionable. And you can go on YouTube and look at my fights and see about my chin.
All right. So you fought with us at 185 for your amateur career. Now, what does it mean to you to come back for your pro?
It's awesome. It's pretty much, I think my career is coming full circle. I started off, I'm undefeated actually too, every time I fought for BAMMA. So it's kind of just, it's fate, it's meant to be. I love you guys here. I mean, Brett's awesome, all the guys that work for you, you're awesome. He puts on a top quality show and he treats us with respect. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, anytime you can work for a promoter that treats you guys top notch, can't ask for anything more.
Now going into this, you started in MMA a while before, but before MMA, you were in the Coast Guard. So how'd you transition over?
You know, I got out of the Coast Guard, did my 4 years, trying to figure out my life. I was about 23, did construction for like 6 months, and I was like, this work stuff's for the birds, man. So pretty much stopped doing construction and got right into jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu led to Muay Thai, and I met Master Cordero over at Kings MMA, and the rest is history. I fell in love with it. The biggest thing is most people go through life trying to find their passion. I'm so fortunate that I know what my passion is. It gives me direction, it gives me purpose in life. I couldn't imagine living my life without purpose.
Understandable, and then especially going to somewhere like Kings, many elite fighters there. What is it like to be training with such great guys of such high caliber?
It's awesome. The greatness just rubs off on you. It's through osmosis. So just being around great people and seeing how champs train, you're used to that. So that's the only way you know how to train. You know how to train hard. Every day in and day out, no excuse. If you feel like I don't feel like training today, you better be in there because somebody's getting ready for a fight. If it's not you getting ready for a fight, one of your teammates is getting ready, and that's the big thing. Everybody thinks it's an individual sport, it's a team sport, so we have to be there for each other. So you're accountable. It reminds me of back in the military. Instead of always looking at somebody for the example, be the example.
Understandable. And then any shout outs you're going to give to these training partners that have been an example in your life?
I got to give a shout out to all my boys at Kings MMA, Benny, Nolan, the big guys like Jake, Lyoto Machida, Fabrizio Verdum, Rafael Dos Anjos, my boy Johnny Merck, who's fighting April 15th. So shout out to all my training partners. Thank you for beating me up. Appreciate it, guys.
Well, you hide it well under this rugged exterior.
That's part of the deal too. I don't want people to look at me with bruises on my face.
Going into this fight, there's some other guys from Kings on this card with you, some teammates. What does that mean to be fighting on the same card together?
It's awesome. You don't get to go to battle with your boys all the time. Most of the times we just go in there by ourselves. We're the only guy on our team fighting. For this card, it's awesome that I have my boy Paul Song, Paul Giamatti. I trained a little bit with Mario Delgado also. It's awesome. We prepared together. We're going through the same hell. Unless you've cut weight, you have no idea what it's like, so it is pretty much hell. And it's nice that we get to suffer all together and then be victorious together. I'm super ecstatic to get to experience this with my friends and teammates. It's awesome.
When you're talking about how you guys are sweating together, going through all these hell weeks, cutting weight, it's 2 weeks out, less than 2 weeks out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What's your main focus for these last 2 weeks preparing?
The last 2 weeks is kind of fine-tuning our game plan and just pretty much cutting the weight off. You know, that was the big thing. I added a lot of muscle in between fights, so it's this diet. I'm just trimming down a little bit at a time and then cut the last 10 pounds the night before and it's on.
You're a man of many hats. And you go into this ring, what are you going to see yourself doing after this?
You know, need to focus in on this fight, get the win, and I want to fight about 4 or 5 times this year. So as soon as I'm done with this fight, probably go out for the weekend, have a little fun, and then get right back to training on Monday. That's my goal for this year, was not to take too much time off in between
Being
fights.
more active.
Being more active. I'm a professional now, and that's the biggest thing I have to get in my head, and I need to act like a professional day in and day out.
And speaking of professional, you can't get there without sponsors. Any shout outs you want to give to your sponsors?
Shout out to AHM Fitness, Synergy, Brisk Delivery Service, Zonka Bars, Betty Lou's Protein, Life is Easy, and Out for Blood Clothing. Thank you guys for sponsoring me this fight. I appreciate all you've done for me and keeping my dream alive. Thank you guys.
Well, you're very much of a hungry person for this fight. Christian Aguilera is going to be a hungry guy for this fight. Seems like it's going to be war. And what's this for? What's this represent right here?
This one's for my grandpa. He's not doing too hot, so kind of giving this fight for him means a lot for me and my family. So.
And what do you think it would mean to him to see you win this fight?
It'd be the world to him. You know, my grandpa's he's always been there for me. He saw me playing youth sports growing up. He was at every practice. I talked to kids from middle school, and they're like, "Hey, how's Grandpa doing?" Because he was there for everything. And even when I fought amateur, he was always at my fights. So it'd mean the world to me and to him too. It's just kind of cool to see where I've grown.
Well, you were mentioning that he isn't doing so great.
Right.
He probably can't be coming out to the fight, but
No.
do know that he could watch this on pay-per-view. What does that mean to you, knowing that he can actually watch you fight?
I'm pretty ecstatic about that, especially for my family in Missouri who's never saw me fight before. But it's also cool to see my grandpa, even though he probably has no idea what a computer is. But it's gonna
set
be
it up for him.
Yeah, we'll set it up for him so Grandpa can sit at home. He can multitask between his golf and me fighting.
You're mentioning that BAMMA USA, we hold our fighters highly. We respect them a lot, but we also have sponsors that also respect the fighters a lot. One of our sponsors, Be First Clothing, is actually promoting a bonus for the fighters. Knockout and submission of the night. Is that a little bit more of an incentive for you?
That's definitely an incentive. I will be looking for both of those. Probably not at the same time. If I pulled that off, that'd be something new, like a knockout submission of the night. But I'm looking for knockout of the night. I've been working a lot of hands for this fight, so I just want to touch the kid. Like, that sounds horrible. I don't want to touch the kid. I just want to hit him in his face and pretty much knock him out and then take his lunch money. Simple.
Kory Kelley, you can see him take on Christian Aguilera March 28th at Commerce Casino. Seems like it's going to be pretty much a war.
It is.